Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Three Hammers podcast. Been away last week. I was really ill, could barely talk, so didn't do a podcast last week. But we are back here with Luke as always. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, it's good, mate. 2 weeks away. Obviously, loads to talk about now. Usually we're sort of, trying to scrape around for a bit of news, but there's so much going on around the club at the moment, in terms of new manager, protests, loads of things and results and stuff. So David Moyes is 2 games in, mate. So what do you make so far, mate? We won't start with Watford. We'll start with his first game. What did you make of that one, mate? That was the 2-0 loss.
Yeah. It was. I saw a lot of people at the time saying how terrible we were, but you know what? I don't think we were that bad. Don't get me wrong, we weren't good by any stretch, but there were signs. Do you know what I mean? You could see signs. You could see that, bearing in mind that it only had a few days really to work with the squad, because players were off at international duty and all the rest of it, that you could see signs that we had more shape. We did look fitter. We were trying to do something. We were trying to move the ball around quicker. We were pressing the ball a little bit more. No, we weren't fantastic. Yes, we lost 2-0.
Gomez, fantastic though.
Yeah. We easily, could have had a couple on another day. But there were signs. That was the important thing for me. I don't understand the people that were expecting us to come out all of a sudden, like after he had a week in charge, and to all of a sudden be Barcelona. I don't understand that mentality. It takes time. And there were, all I wanted to see was signs that something was changing, and I saw those signs in that game. I don't know what you thought, mate, but that was my take on it.
There was a bit of change in the Watford game. Still a little bit lacklustre that first game. I think again he's still trying to pick a team. Obviously, he did put Tony Martinez on the bench, which was a positive for that game. Obviously, he didn't make the Leicester one. But if we move on to Leicester, mate, a lot better though. A lot better. Listen, there's still stuff lacking with in terms of that. We can't break a team down for love nor money. We're terrible at breaking teams down. But players like Arnautovic was running, Masuaku, bags of pace down the left-hand side. It's just a little bit more energy. He's not afraid to drop your Mark Nobles. He doesn't look like he's afraid to drop a player, which, again, I like. Maybe a bit afraid to drop Andy Carroll, but then is his hands sort of tired at the minute with players being injured?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like you say, Arnautovic was our best player by a mile. Against Leicester, he was fantastic and great to see him running back, and it was nice to see Moyes come out afterwards and say that's the bare minimum. That's what he should be expected to do. I'm not going to praise him for running back because that's what he should be doing, and that's nice to see. And again, to me, it was just another step on from the Watford game, where again we looked more organised. We looked like we had some kind of game plan, which made
first goal. The goal was very poor, what we conceded.
Yeah, terrible from Ogbonna. Not sure what he was doing. Cresswell didn't really come across the cover. It was a poor goal to concede. But again, 2-3 weeks ago, well, say 3 weeks ago under Bilic, we would have lost that game about 4-0.
Easy.
We would have just collapsed, and we didn't.
Scored at a really good time. We scored at a really good time to make it 1-1. And we just we just didn't get that little bit of luck at the end, did we, to get that sort of the winner?
Yeah, like you say, mate, it's at the minute we're lacking creativity, but again, it's only been a week and a half. You know what I mean? It's going to take time, and we're seeing steps. That's all I want to see. I want to see steps. So, we're looking like we've got more of a shape. Our heads didn't drop when we went 1-0 down. We look like we're trying to play with some kind of game plan rather than just 11 players out on the pitch. Pressing, the fitness levels are definitely better. They're not quite there yet, but they're definitely better, and we're progressing. That's all I wanted to see. I wanted to see us progressing, and we are. And that when you start seeing the likes of Antonio come back, Hernandez come back, then we're hopefully going to start seeing us break down teams more. Obviously January just around the corner. I'll be interesting to see who we bring in, but for me there's good signs. I'm pleased. I'm happy enough. Good signs for me.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. There's definitely, like you say, it seems like there's a plan there. Listen, it's going to take time. It is going to take time. We even said it ourselves, didn't we? Moyes is not the sort of guy like Pardew who's going to go in now and he's got to get it, boom. It's got to be, you're going to see an instant reaction. Moyes is a more slow building manager, and I think it's whether he's given the time and whether West Ham have the time really as well. Whether because after Christmas it could be again a lot dangerouser again, and we could be in a position where we're thinking, oh dear, we haven't got the time. But,
it's a scary month coming up, but again, you know, it's not as if we're in the bottom three and we're cut off. We're not. 2 wins and we're in mid-table. 2 wins and we're in the top half. Do you know what I mean? It's not panic stations yet. There's still a lot of football left to play. And to me, we're showing signs that we're turning a corner.
Yeah. And like you say, big players coming back. So yeah, in general for Moyes, mate, we've got to get behind him and see what he does. Like I say, everything seems to be good. Like I say, even the press conference, like you've said it earlier, mate, the comment of that is the bare minimum. That's right, that's the bare minimum. That's right.
Yeah. No, I've been pleased with him. I have genuinely. I wasn't excited when he was appointed. I thought it was the wrong appointment. But when he was appointed, I was prepared to say, all right, he's our manager now, we'll give him a chance. And for me, yeah, he's doing the right things. I'm happy with how we are doing so far. Obviously, it's such a short time. Do want to say as well, obviously, I just watched the Leicester game on TV. The fans in the stadium were incredible. Yeah. Absolutely incredible. That's the best atmosphere. And this is just from watching it on TV. That's the best atmosphere I've seen from the London Stadium. Absolutely incredible. Fantastic to see the fans really getting behind the team. Really, you know, sticking with it, making a load of noise. It was brilliant. Really, really good to see.
Yeah, no, that's what they needed as well. It's a bit like there's only really 2 occasions it's been on that sort of level. The Tottenham game last year, and when we beat Chelsea in the cup as well last year. But yeah, it's good. They need to sort of, but again, it only comes from what the players do on the pitch. You know, they see the pressing, see the work rate and the effort. The fans going to get behind you. If you're lackadaisical, walking around, strolling around, not running back, they're not going to cheer. And they've got every right not to.
100%. Joe Hart said it after the game. He said the crowd could have gone either way after that first goal, but they saw what they were trying to do on the pitch, and they stuck with them, and they could feel that in the stands, and that was fantastic to see. There was a comment, I can't remember who it was. It was one of the Leicester players made a comment after the game as well to the press, and he said all they'd heard about the London Stadium was that the crowd's too far away from the pitch, and it's you know, it's an easy game. And he said it was the complete opposite. He said the crowd were really intimidating when they were making that much noise, and that's what you want. That's what you want the opposition players to be thinking. You want them to be coming there fearing 55,000 West Ham fans getting behind the team. You know, that's what you want. So it's great to see. Yeah, fantastic from the fans that were at the game.
Yeah. Obviously the Watford game, mate, before we move on to the Everton game, obviously the Watford game did have protests towards the board and players from the fans. Wasn't so much at the Leicester game at the London Stadium, but what do you make on all that? What do you make on all the stuff at David Sullivan's house, stuff at the ground? What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think it's right. I've read a lot about it, you know, and the fans are not happy. They're not happy with the way the club's going. Not happy with, you know, all the broken promises, the lack of spending, the way that they're, you know, taking money out of the club constantly. They've been owning us for however long, and the debts are still the same level. So yeah, you know, it's right. The fans are protesting. It's the only way anything's going to change. Do you know what I mean? It's the only way anything's going to happen is to put the board under pressure and to make them uncomfortable. And I think we did start to see that. Although I personally would like to see it done in the right way. You know, you don't want it to affect the players on the pitch. You want to get behind the team. You want to get behind the players on the pitch. You want to get behind the manager. It takes me back to, if you remember the protests against Terry Brown, mate.
Yeah, where we sat out the ground, yeah.
And that was after the game, outside the stadium, outside the director's lounge. That's the time to do it and to protest. That that didn't affect the game, didn't affect the players. That was aimed at the board. There was no doubts about who it was aimed at. I think that's the way to do it.
Anything against the David Sullivan's house?
Well, I mean, it depends.
Personally, I've not.
It depends, isn't it? Like if they're protesting outside his house, then that's their right, isn't it? They can do what they want. If they start vandalising things and climbing over the gates and things, obviously you're crossing the line there. And I will say, that it depends on how you're protesting. There's one thing where you're protesting and you're voicing that you're unhappy. I will say there is another thing when it comes to making basically making a man's family feel unsafe. That's not on. Do you know what I mean? That's not on.
That's not on. Yeah.
You don't want these family to feel unsafe. You don't want them feeling like. And I know there's a lot of very, very upset West Ham fans, but there's a line. Do you know what I mean? There is a line there. However much you might dislike the Sullivans, you can't have them feeling threatened in their own home. That's not on. Protesting outside, as long as it's a peaceful protest, just airing your grievances, fine. I don't know. That's my stand on it. I know it's a very sort of touchy subject. A lot of people are going to disagree with me there.
It's a very touchy subject. Jay, one of his videos a couple of weeks back said about that protest in the house, and one thing I did agree with him is at least it being at the house, David Sullivan cannot deny it, and twist it and be like, oh, it was just a handful of fans in a pocket of the crowd. No, they've gone to your house. You can't deny that it's there. You can't try and what's the word? Make it less. I can't think what the word is.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Like play it down, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Play it down. Yeah. So with that, yeah, like I say, the fans are justified in what they're saying. Yeah, you can give it all that crap about they saved us. Yes, they did. Yes, they did save us. Yes, they have put us in a better sort of financial position. But you can't keep making broken promises, and then I think the fans have had enough of that. I think what it is. I think they'd rather have been, if they would have come out and played it honest, like, okay, we're just going to try and steady the ship. We're going to be a stable mid-table club for a few years and then see what happens. But all this, we're going to be Champions League. We're going to compete with this. We're going to compete with that. That is what has angered the fans, because there's been no,
Yeah. I agree, mate. All the nonsense, Champions League in 5 years and Arsenal looking over their shoulder and all this rubbish. It's 100%, mate. 100% agree. They would have been better off just keeping their mouths shut, saying nothing at all. It's the transfer windows. Don't get me wrong. I think the transfers we've made are not all necessarily bad transfers, but they haven't put enough in. They haven't got the players that we've needed. It seems like it's been more buying names when they're cheap rather than buying the actual players that we need. And you're right, mate. And it's just got to the point now. It has just got to the point where the fans have had enough. And it'd be very interesting to see what happens. Like, because let's be perfectly honest, the ball ain't going anywhere. They're not going anywhere.
Till, was it 2020 or something like that, when they don't have to pay a percentage back to Newham Council? So that's they're there till 2020 at least. At least.
But hopefully what I hope comes from this is they do realise, right, okay, we need to be more realistic, and if they are going to set these goals that we're going to compete, they're going to have to put their hands in their pockets, because they haven't done that so far. I
know there's rumours of 20 million for Moyes in the January. 20 million.
30 was what I heard.
Yeah, 20 to 30 million. Well, you need at least 40 to get William Carvalho over the line. So it's not enough, is it? 30 million is nothing. It's nothing nowadays. That's one really good player nowadays, really, isn't it?
I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem with the board. They're living in the past. Like, in their minds, £30 million is a lot of money. Like you say, mate, it's not. £30 million nothing these days.
Yeah, mate. So moving on, obviously, this week we've got to sort of preview 2 games really. We've got Everton Wednesday, which may be tonight when this podcast goes out, and obviously Manchester City on Sunday. That's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, Everton, mate, this is massive. This is huge game. You know, Moyes returning. Obviously, David Unsworth, former West Ham player as well, sort of playing against us. They've got no Michael Keane. They've got no Leighton Baines. They're poor. They're really, really poor. Like, they're conceding goals for fun, a bit like us, 4s and 5s going in. You know, they've lost Lukaku, the man who always scores against us. So, what do you reckon, mate? Are they there for the taking, or will they think, you know what, West Ham's in town?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, 100%, they're the one team that look as bad, if not worse, than us in the league at the minute. But we've got an awful record against Everton. Terrible record against Everton. And if you were Everton right now, the one team you'd be looking forward to playing is West Ham. So I just don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, we need to win this game because Everton are really, really struggling. But it would not surprise me if we lost this. Yeah, I couldn't make any predictions. We need to win it, but so do they. And like I say, our record against them is absolutely shocking.
It's not the best hunting ground for us, is it? Goodison Park. Apparently Chikorito may be back. Antonio as well. Ginger's just announced on his Instagram as well. He could be back. He's going to be an important player again, I think, for us towards now and the end of the season. So let's hope now. You know, we started with a loss, then got a draw, and hopefully now it's a win, and we can sort of really push on. Because after that, like I say, if we don't win, Man City, that could be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you know what I mean? It could be anything. Yeah. It really could be anything in that game because they are just unbelievable team to watch at the moment. And, you know, they play Huddersfield. Was it Huddersfield they played the weekend, Man City? And, you know, yeah, they did because they went. Huddersfield went 1-0 up, you know, and even then they're showing like old Man United sort of characteristics, you know. They just did whatever to get the win. And they did. They come out 2-1 win. So I'm not expecting anything there, but it wouldn't be above West Ham, mate, to go and lose to Everton and then go and beat Man City 1-0. That is West Ham. That is West Ham.
It would be some turn up if we did. I can't see it. I don't think we're going to get destroyed sort of 6, 7, 8-0. But yeah, I mean, I can't see, not just us, I can't see anybody taking anything off Man City at the minute. They are that good right now. So yeah, no, I can't see anything from. Sorry, did I say Man United there? I meant Man City.
Yeah.
I can't see anyone getting anything from right now. So, yeah, I don't know. Definitely, we do. We need to beat Everton just to give us some confidence as well going into this run of games. We need something to give us that boost. Anything. If we win 1-0 against Everton and it's a lucky jammy goal, anything, I'll take it. Anything, just to give us a bit of confidence and give us that boost.
Definitely. Like I say, if we get the 3 points there, you know, we can sort of, you know, Man City's a gimme game where it's like, you know, if you get anything out of it, it's an absolute bonus. But then, like I say, tough games after that. Chelsea, Arsenal to come. Also got to play Tottenham, you know, and I think we've got Arsenal in the Cup as well. So we've got massive games coming up. You know, and it's just, like you say, Everton's now a massive game, crucial. Yeah, that's it really for the sort of previews and stuff. That obviously announced this week away tickets that they're going to sell 90% and then keep 10% back for the normal people, you know, members and people. What do you make of that? I'm quite happy because I might be able to get a Tottenham away ticket.
I can see it. I can see it from both sides. Obviously, a lot of the away fans are worried that they're going to miss out on tickets because a percentage is going to end up going to. I don't like day trippers, right? I don't think that's the fans that's going to be going for them. I mean, there will be some, obviously, but they're not happy. You know, they've built up their priority points, and there's a chance that they might miss out to someone who's never been to an away game in their life. I can understand the worry there. I'm a little bit worried as well about it diluting the away fan base. I know it's only 10%, it's not a massive number, but still, you know, our away fans are fantastic. And the last thing I would want to see is those day trippers that are going to just get tickets to City away, Arsenal away, Tottenham away, just because they want to go and see those teams rather than West Ham. That's something that nobody wants to see happen.
No.
But on the other hand, like you say, mate, it gives people like yourself a chance to possibly get tickets, because there's obviously a lot of people that can't go to every away game, so they don't buy away season tickets. And it's harder, if you're starting from zero, it's harder to build up those priority points if you never get the chance to go to those games. So I don't know, I can kind of see it from both sides. It'll be interesting. I think as long as there's been a lot of things as well that we're not accepting the full allocation of away tickets, potentially because, like I say, the away fans are the most vocal. This is actually quite interesting. The away fans are quite vocal, and the board are worried that if there's loads of them, they're going to make the protest heard and all the rest of it. So they're cutting down on the allocation to quieten down that section of support. Yeah. One thing I will say that was being spoke a lot about the Leicester game, where it was on Sky, was that the home fans' mics were turned way down. So if there were any chance and if there was any sort of protesting, it wouldn't be heard over the cameras. And it was noticeable. I have to say, it was noticeable. Whether that's instructions from the club or whether that's just Sky not wanting there to be boos and things on their televised games, I don't know. So I don't know. There's a few sort of conspiracy theories there as well.
Yeah. Like I say, it's a good thing, and you know there is controversy because there are some people that want to have tickets. You know, and these ones that people like Lee, who's built up points over the years, you know, to get away tickets. But yeah, I'd love to hopefully have a chance of getting the Tottenham tickets, which still yet to be announced. Another one that, you know, there's still a lot of talk about when that game is actually going to get played, you know. Let's move on to the questions. Jack says, is it time to sell Mark Noble? So hard typing that out.
I wouldn't sell him. I wouldn't play him every game, but I wouldn't sell him. I think he should retire at the club. That, like I say, I don't think we should be building the team around him. I don't think he should be playing every game, but I don't think we should sell him. I don't think he wants to leave. And it's a rare thing.
Even I wouldn't sell him, and you know I'm his critic.
Yeah, it's a rare thing these days to have a one club player. You know what I mean? No, he's been with West Ham his entire career. Let him see out his career at West Ham. We're not going to get money for him, are we? We're not going to get. It's not like we're going to sell him for £30 million or something. We're not going to get big money for him. No. So no. I wouldn't sell Mark. Like I say, I wouldn't build a team around him, but I wouldn't sell him.
You'd keep him in and around the club, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tony says, would you take a point at Everton, and do you see us getting any points between then and Boxing Day?
Well, I've said on this show many times, an away point's a good point.
Especially at Goodison.
Yeah, especially there. An away point against anyone's a good point. So would I take a point? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. Don't get me wrong. We need to win, and again, it comes down more to the performance than the result. You know, I want to see us try and win. If we try our best and we only get a draw, I'll be happy with that. If we roll over and get beat, or just nothing happens and it's a boring 0-0, I won't be too happy. But I don't know. Asking me now, yeah, I probably would take a point. As far as getting points up to Boxing Day, I reckon we're going to beat. Well, I reckon we're going to, because it always happens. I reckon one of those games there's going to be a shock result.
I think we'll beat Newcastle 23rd. I think the Newcastle game is. Kev on Facebook says, with all the protests in the pipeline, what would be our 5-point plan to help the board?
Do you know what? I saw this question. And it is a very good question. And I have to be honest, it's not something I've really thought about.
No.
It really isn't. What would be my 5-point plan? I don't know. Well, let's knock this out then, mate. So 5 points, right? Number one, I think we covered it earlier. The board need to stop spouting off about what they're going to do, who they're going to sign, where we're going to finish. They need to manage people's expectations. I think that's number one. Number two, they need to actually put their hands in their pockets and sign the players that we need, not players that are on a free or on a loan, or you can spread the payments out over 15 years. They need to actually put their hands in their pockets and spend a bit of money.
Bang it, yeah. And if David Moyes is not to stay, for me, you've got to go and spend big money on a manager as well. Like a Marco Silva or someone like that. Again, I think Marco Silva's got bigger fish to fry now. But also, look into, there's a lot of rumours that the LDCC is going to collapse in the next sort of couple of months. Looking to buy the stadium and sort out the seats for me as well.
That would be a good one. That would be a good one. I don't know.
Drop the Sun column, Karen Brady.
Drop Karen Brady altogether. That'd be nice.
Yeah. And just, start. I can't really think of 5 points, if I'm honest, top of my head. But, just start running it a bit more professionally. I don't want to hear what David Sullivan's got to say. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear David Sullivan going, he's got 2 more games. He's got 3 more games. It does nothing for the club at all.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's difficult. Like I say, it's a good question, mate. It's not saying I've really thought about. But that's a few points. Let us know, guys. Let us know what would be your 5 points. Put your 5 points in the comments, and then we'll read them out next show. We'll go through the best ones and we'll read them out. So let us know, what would your 5 points be for the board, for the club going forward? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Andy Smith, what happens if Moyes does well this season, top half finish with decent football, but Silva and Rafa say they want to come? By Dave.
That's a very good question. Again, good questions today. That's a very good question. Well, on the one hand, so I wouldn't mind. So if Moyes does well, we end up finishing top half, and we're playing good football, you'd be thinking there's no need to change. I wouldn't change him for Rafa, but I do think Marco Silva is going to be a special manager, and I think it's really difficult because we said earlier on, Moyes is a player that is a slow builder. So if he did really well this season, we finished top half and we were playing good football, he could build us into a really good club, the likes that Everton were. But then do you pass up the chance to sign a potential really, really good up-and-coming manager? I don't know. It's a difficult one. And then the likes of that, if we did sack off Moyes and we got in Marco Silva and he has a blinding season with us, he's probably going to go elsewhere to a bigger club anyway.
It's very true. I can see him going Spurs when Poch goes. I'll be honest. I can see Poch going and Silva going there. Because, like I say, he's a wanted commodity. Same bloke. Have you started to pay more attention to the results of other teams likely to be at the bottom of the league come May? Yeah, I have actually. I've been, when West Ham wasn't playing Saturday, I made a point of watching Crystal Palace play. They got their win in the 90th minute. They seem to be turning the corner. They looked dead and buried a few weeks ago, but they're only one win away now, I think, from getting out of it. So, we have got to sort of look over our shoulder a bit. I think Swansea are possibly the worst team out there at the moment. They're probably the worst team in the league at the minute. Everton are really bad as well. But, I certainly have started watching other results. Yeah. SB says, does anyone know when Ginge and Chicharito will be back? Well, there are rumours that they'll be back forever, mate, and probably definitely Man City at the latest. Ken Elfield, similar sort of question again. If Moyes gets us around 13th in the table, would we want him to continue for next season? For me, if not too defensive and attack is scoring goals, then he gets my vote with a 2-3 year contract. So there you go. Sort of the mood is changing with the fans as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and as it should be. I think it was wrong to, like I say, Moyes wasn't the appointment that the fans wanted. He wasn't the appointment that I wanted. He wasn't the appointment that anybody wanted, really. And I think it was wrong that everyone wrote him off. We lost the first game 2-0 and everyone was saying, oh, God, here we go. This is going to be ridiculously bad. Like we've said so many times, it's going to take time. Give the man a chance. Give him a chance. you know. And it is good to see the fans kind of getting behind him. You know, it is. That's the only way he's going to succeed. He's not going to succeed if everyone's jumping on his back before he's even done anything. So no, it's nice to see. 13th would be a good finish for us this year.
Yeah. Mark Collinson, do you think Slav had a little smile after the shambles of the Watford game? Obviously, these are questions built up from a few weeks. Yeah, he probably did, you know. With the Watford game, it wasn't the best performance, but
he probably did, yeah. But Slav probably would have lost that game by even more. So,
yeah.
You know, I'm not going to slate Slav because we did love Slav, you know, loved him, but I don't think the fact that he put us in this position in the first place. He's not in any position to be smiling about anything. I see a lot of rumours that he could be off to join. I can't even remember what club it was now. I think it was a club in Portugal. I'm not sure.
Sparta Prague.
Oh, was it Sparta Prague? Oh, there you go. So yeah, you know, I don't think he'll be out of work for too long. Slav will get another job on the continent. I can't see him managing in the Premier League again.
No. Well, he did turn down West Brom, mate.
He
did turn down West Brom, apparently. So they were sniffing.
Oh, there you go.
Looks like it's going to be Pards going there, another former West Ham, sort of to carry on that merry-go-round of, recycled managers. Peter Coker, our friend, says, new manager, same sort of style, losing team. When will we stop blaming the manager and start replacing the dead wood?
So to be fair to Peter, I've seen this a lot after the first game, in particular after the Watford game. Like I say, give the man a chance. What do you expect to happen? You can't expect a new manager to come in, work with the players for less than a week, and then we turn into Barcelona. What? I don't know. I genuinely don't understand what people are expecting. Do you know what I kept seeing? Where's the new manager bounce? Where's the new manager bounce? Like,
yeah, I see that a lot.
Come on, like, give it time. I don't know. I don't really get that mentality. It's that instant, right? We want everything now, quick fix, right? We want it now, and I just don't really. I don't agree with that. But
yeah, you'd think now. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and slate West Ham fans because you know we all love each other, we're a community and stuff, but it's like, you know, like you say, mate, I've seen West Ham so much, you have now, like literally this season it's sort of got to a point where it's like, do you know what, I'm just going to give anyone time, because I've seen it so many times, like so many times I've seen, you know, Avram Grant, Zola, Glenn Roders, etc. Like, I don't think at the moment or over the years anyone could go to West Ham and change it. I just think that is who we are. I just think that is what we are. Lee always says it, doesn't he? Huh?
I agree, mate.
Lee always says it. Lee always says, well, that's who we are. I know I argue with him a lot and say, well, that's what I want us to be, that. But what are we going to be? At the moment, what are we going to be? We haven't got the players. I suppose we have got a few, but we ain't got players to be that top team. Unless, like you say, mate, you're going to go and spend 100 mil. I don't know.
Yeah.
What happens if Marco Silva went there and flopped? What would we all be saying then?
No, mate, you're right. It's true.
Okay, Steve Catcham. Is it possible that players have a play when fit clause in their contract, or if not written, is there pressure from the board? I have a feeling it's more dreamt up anti-board rubbish, but I want your view.
I don't think it's dreamt up, mate. I think there is 100%. 100%.
Yeah, Kevin Nolan definitely had that.
Yeah,
Kevin Nolan definitely had that in the contract.
I think there's absolutely 100% clauses.
I think Andy Carroll's got it as well.
Yeah, I would say Carroll probably has. I'd actually be very interested to go back and see, has there been a time where Carroll hasn't played when he's not been injured, when he's been fit? I can't think of one off the top of my head. Joe Hart, I reckon, has 100% got one in his contract. I don't know why Joe Hart would sign a loan deal to come to West Ham without it. League games, anyway. League games. Yeah, I definitely think it's something that exists. I don't agree with it, I don't agree with it at all. I think it's wrong, but I definitely think it exists. And as far as ball pressure to play certain players, again, I reckon there is as well. You know, if the board are going out and spending however much money on players for a club like West Ham, they're going to want to see some return on their investment. So, yeah, I think that's a thing. Yeah, yeah. What about you, mate?
Yeah, I think so, mate. I think it definitely exists. Didn't we have a player on loan, and it was something like he had to play when fit? I can't remember what it was. There was definitely something back in the day. But yeah, it definitely exists. 100% exists. Bit of a joke question. I don't know whether you see it, mate, on TalkSport. The guy rung up and said about Mark Noble and Ray Winston. Paul, my boss in work, actually put a question and said, should Mark Noble and Ray Winston take over David Moyes?
It'd be funny, wouldn't it?
Have you not seen the call? Have you
no,
not
I haven't seen it, no.
The guy goes off on TalkSport, basically going, yeah, they should get Mark Noble in because he's from Costa Mash, you know, he knows what he's talking about. Get Ray Winston in as assistant manager.
Yeah, why not? And then we could have like what's
Danny
his
Dyer
face?
in there as well.
Danny Dyer, James Corden,
Russell
Brand. Yeah, they could be the coaching staff. Can you imagine?
Yeah. John Cleese, Leona, Lennox Lewis in there as well.
Yeah, why not? Get them all in. Why not?
Yeah, why not all the YouTubers? Let's all take it over. A couple of these questions are from people that I work with. Rory, would you rather have a season ticket at West Ham or a backstage pass to Slavan Bilic's band's European tour?
This season?
Ticket.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I don't like rock music anyway.
Sam. No. Sam says, if true, seen a big West Ham account say so. What are your thoughts on fans going to the homes with banners and protest, and they're apparently banning? Yeah, we didn't actually say that, mate. They apparently found the fans who put the banner outside David Sullivan's house and banned these fans. What do you make of that?
It's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. Ban them for what? I don't get me wrong. Obviously, the club can ban whoever they want. They're a private company, but yeah, it is ridiculous. What are you banning them for? What? I'd love to know. I'd love to see the letters that went out to those fans.
Yeah,
I'd love to see the letters that went out to those fans.
The club into disrepute or something like that.
Yeah, I suppose it could be something like that actually. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's the fans have a right to voice their opinions. I know. We've spoke about it. When you're talking about going to somebody's house, it's potentially different. But no, I don't think you should be banning fans for as long as, like I say, as long as they're not breaking any laws, they're not doing anything criminal. You know what I mean? Then what are you banning them for?
So, SB says, what is Sheck even doing? Would you guys get rid of him? Yeah, I would. I'll be honest. If you can get a good sum in for him, you know, what would be a good sum for Sheck?
If you'd have asked me that a year and a half ago, I would have said about 25 million. But I reckon if we sold him now, 10, 12, I don't think he's worth much more than that.
You could possibly push to about 15 mil for him.
I don't know what he does. I don't know. Like when he first signed, his first couple of years, those runs forward, those charging runs forward,
he can't pass 6 yards.
No, when we first got him, he was like a mini Yaya Toure. Now I don't know what he does. I don't know. He doesn't seem to do anything well. Don't get me wrong, he scored obviously at the weekend.
No, I remember, like you say, mate, when he first come in, we was all a little bit sceptical because it was a bit like, oh, is this guy going to be as good as Diarmi? Because obviously Diarmi was fantastic when that first year he was there, and he sort of did. He pushed on, and we was all like, yeah, this guy's better than Diarmi. But I don't know. He's sort of, I don't know. There's always constant rumours that he's not happy, and little leaks get out in the press. So it's like, for me, yeah, I would let him go. I would.
I think he would be easily replaced by somebody better. So yeah, I would let him go. Don't get me wrong, I love him. He's a great personality.
No, he's a good player. But,
especially whenever you see like the Instagram videos and all that the club put out, he's always there making stupid noises and being like, hey, He looks like quite a funny bloke to be around.
We all remember the video. We got paid. That video.
Yeah, he looks like quite a fun bloke to be about. But as far as on the football pitch, I think we could replace him with better. So yeah, I would let him go. I
agree. Jack says, are the fans overreacting? Is the negativity reflecting on the pitch? I would say the negativity is, for me, justified for what was happening on the pitch. Not so much the negativity reflecting on the pitch, it's more the poor play reflecting back and sort of forcing the fans' hands, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I say, I think it's just a culmination. It's just got to a point now where the fans have said that we've had enough. It's just got too much. I don't think it's been overblown, the negativity, really, to be honest, because if we'd have carried on the way we were going down, and we still might. Yeah. So, you know, we're not going in the direction we're supposed to be. So I think it's justified.
I agree. That is it, mate, for questions this week. Thank you so much, guys, for keeping the questions coming in over the 2 weeks. We've tried to, build them up and answer all the ones we got in for last week and the week before. So really, really appreciate it, guys. Keep subscribing, guys. Keep in touch and stuff with us. Let us know any topics you'd like covered. On other sports news, the only thing I can really think is that obviously Rugby League England have reached the World Cup final, which is on Sunday. Please check that out. They're playing Australia. It'd be great if we do win that. But yeah, that's it really. What about the Premier League, mate, in general for you? Obviously, Man City.
City is still walking it. According to our mate Peter, who put a question in, he thinks Man United are going to get relegated next year. Hey, anything could happen.
We should get Peter on.
Yeah, we should. We'll get Peter on one day to share his insight with the fans.
I can't remember what I was going to say now about football. Oh, yes. Friday, I do believe, as well, it is the World Cup draw as well. Obviously, your team's not there, mate.
So. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't really care, to be honest, mate. Italy's gone. Yeah, I don't really care.
Sad though. Sad to see Italy go. I know a lot of England fans will be sitting there going, but listen, there's some legends there. Like, it's really sad seeing GG Buffon.
It's shocking. Like that man had tears in his eyes. Like, for him to retire and failing to qualify for the World Cup is terrible. It's been a ridiculously long time. How long's it been? I think it's been like since the 50s or something, since Italy haven't qualified for the World Cup.
Yeah.
So
what I hope for GG though, mate, I can't see it, to be honest, but I hope that Juventus go on and win the Champions League this year. I can't see it because for me, to be honest, if PSG don't win it, it is an absolute disaster for them. If PSG don't win the Champions League this year.
It's been an interesting season in Europe, actually. Like, Juve are struggling this year. Napoli
was struggling. Real was struggling.
Yeah, exactly. Messi's having the worst run of his career. So Napoli are walking the Italian league at the minute. When you've got likes of like Simone Zaza leading scoring charts in Spain, something's definitely not right. But yeah. I don't know. PSG, see, that's the thing. Like, PSG, on paper, their team's ridiculous, and it's like playing against schoolboys in France. But I don't know, against the likes of your Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, even the likes of Man City. I really want to see, because I think the draw is the week after next. I think the Champions League draw. I want to see City, PSG. That will be some match. That will be some game if that comes out of the app. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens.
I think that's where you'll see, Man City do look amazing Premier League standard, but that is where you'll see where they are in Europe, these next couple of rounds of how good that team can become. That is it, guys, for this week. We will be back next week, possibly the week after as well. Probably 2 more shows between now and Christmas, and obviously we'll have a little rest. I'll still be doing my previews and reviews and things like that. But we will have a little rest for 2 weeks, obviously, because we see our families and we have got lives and stuff outside of YouTube. But until then, guys, keep checking West Ham Fan Zone out. Knees Up Mother brand. Get subscribed to us. Like the video. Comment. You know, we love. We had a really nice comment actually last video saying that, you know, we really like the fact that we always mention comments and talk about it. So yeah, keep them coming in. And as Paul said, give us your 5-point plan. We may make that just a video in general, just me and Paul talking about your plans and what we think that we might go through your plans and stuff. Would be a really interesting video. Until then, guys, let's hope we can beat Everton and go on the up. And, you know, fingers crossed, you know, Man City, who knows, we might turn up and do them. Come on, you irons. Keep believing. Let's go.
Cheers.